Hello ladies and gentlemen, you should be able to hear me now. I do apologise for the brief moment. We are hopefully all good to go now here in Austria for the Austrian Grand Prix. If there is somebody watching, do let me know if you can hear me in the stream chat. We should be all good to go now, heading for qualifying. There's 15 minutes on the clock, and that is what these drivers will have to set a lap time. Just give me 1 second, just going to make sure the audio is working. Yep, we're all good to go. Everything is working and we can get qualifying underway for this Austrian Grand Prix. We're currently looking at Spine as he heads down through the Schloss Golden towards turn number 6 and 7, a double left-hander through the turn number 6 of Remus, and then it is through turn number 7 of the Worth Curve, and then heading round through the right-hander of turn number 8, and then towards turn number 9. This is the downhill right of Rint, and then in towards the final Red Bull Mobile curve. It's going to be Spines for the first time on the board. Let's see where what the AlphaTauri can do. It's got to be 103.7. That's an excellent lap for the first banker. Do let me know if the engine audio is just a little bit loud. We can adjust that throughout the broadcast, of course, but a good lap there from Spine to send the banker. Next up, it is going to be GFO Lazard, who's going to be the next man to set a time, coming through the Red Bull Mobile curve of turn number 10. Here comes Lazard over across the start-finish line. That's going to be 7/10 to drift off pole position. Maybe not the most accurate of laps. Mango then the next man to tackle the timing beam, and he's going to break that with the purple time. It's a 103.578 for Mango, who goes to the pole provisionally here in Austria, but 23 times on the board, still plenty to go. It's going to be Kei Kowalski who goes up next. That's going to be 103.2 for the Mercedes man. An excellent lap there to go to the top of the pole. It's going to be a Ferrari next across the line of Marios. And that's just the start of the lap, actually, so he's going to have to just wait a little bit longer. Here comes Stelios then around the final corner and across the start-finish line. The Alfa Romeo is going to go just in front of his teammate by about 0.3 of a second, actually. So he's gone a slight little bit more than just in front of his teammate. He has gone to fourth position. There goes CPI Volcano up to second. We're just taking a look at Jamie as well, who's heading up towards turn number 3. That's kind of the first phase of laps completed. We're still waiting on plenty of times to go on the board. We're waiting on Limitless, Jamie, Cucumber, Marios, Rudy, Carl, Gian, and Selly. Our championship leader, of course, is on the outlap. Selly for AlphaTauri, the Austrian native, of course, heading here to his home Grand Prix. He'll be looking to extend his championship lead over Limitless as we head through the first part of qualifying. Obviously, no points scored in qualifying. The points all in the race. Let's have a look what Marios has managed to do then on his lap. There is an improvement there for a Williams across the line. That's Rudy. He goes to 5th. Here comes Marios across the line. He'll go to 4th spot. So a decent lap there from Marios. Here comes CPI Jamie for the McLaren's actually valid on the exit of turn number 9. So no lap will be completed by Jamie. The next across the line, that's going to be the Williams of Gian, who goes to 7, just behind his teammate Rudy. So it seems like the two teammates matching each other in every sector there. It's just like the Alfa Romeo Saubers. That's now Limitless heading through the final corner. Let's just take a look on board, and let's ride on board and listen to this Red Bull roar through sector number 1. Decent sector 1 there for Limitless. We're heading through sector 2 now. Let's just take a look as he's heading up towards turn number 6 of Roche and in towards turn number 7 of the Worth Curve, of course, named after two Austrian companies, sponsors presumably of the corners. There goes Limitless, just checking the 50-second mark now and heading in towards the penultimate corner, named after, of course, famous Austrian racer Joachim Rindt. And then the final corner, very different to being named after an Austrian racer. It's named after this car, Red Bull, the Red Bull Mobile Curve. Here comes Limitless then across the start-finish line. That's just behind his teammate Mango. So Limitless is going to go 4th for now, 0.368 of the provisional pole time set by the Mercedes. Next across the line, here comes our championship leader, Selly. Is this going to go purple across the line? It will not, but it will go to 3rd. That knocks Mango down a peg. That will be Selly onto the second second row of the grid, who goes to third spot. A decent lap there by the AlphaTauri. And then Spine just getting ready to start his second lap of the session. We saw him set the first time earlier on this evening. He went to the pole, and now he's being knocked down a little bit. We see another good time going there from Cucumber. Seems like that third spot is a popular one. Cucumber going to third, just with a 103.3. It's not quite getting into that 102 range that we've seen from our all-Mercedes-powered front row. Let's have a look then who is on a lap. Limitless on his in-lap. Spine improving 15.9 in the first sector, getting a slipstream from his AlphaTauri teammate Selly in towards turn number 5 of Schlossgold. Heading then in towards this tricky middle sector. Let's have a listen in. Marginal improvements for Spine there in that's the second lap of the session. Actually, the first man to set a second lap. We can see Cucumber and Selly both heading into the pit lane at the end of the lap. Mango, I think, is pushing on a run here as he heads in towards the Rinth corner. Turn number 9. That's a bit too far on the exit though, but just like we saw in the Austrian Grand Prix this year in 2023, there was a lot of invalidations. Mango, that lap would have been a 103.4. That would have put him a little bit up the grid, but he would have improved by a 10. That would have actually put him as a 4th spot just ahead of Selly, but it wasn't quite to be for him. Here comes Marius I should say, across the start-finish line. Let's have a look. In through sector number 1, heading through turn number 1, the Niki Lauda curve, and up the hill towards turn number 3 of Remus. He's invalid. He's back down on that one. No time to be said for Marius here, as Mango not finding any more time. What about Carl? What's the Haas finding as he just overtakes Marius there in towards the Schlossgold? He'll be looking to do something similar in the Grand Prix, of course, but Carl looking to just find some time here in this middle sector. There's an Aston Martin wandering on the apex of Remus, or I should say off the apex. Yeah, but Carl not finding time. Needs a big last sector here as he's heading through, or heading towards, I should say, Rinth corner. Across the line then. He has found the time, to be fair to him. He has found the time, but he invalidated, so it's worth absolutely nothing. That's unfortunate for Carl. Here comes Gian towards the stand-finish line. It's going to be 6th position for the Williams. That's a good time. That's a purple sector 3. While he's at it, found 3/10 of a second there. Good lap that from Gian. He's put in a good effort, as Volcano is going to start his lap with Jamie splitting the timing beacon, and he's going to go up to 3rd. That's a good spot. That's a good lap as well from Jamie. 0.111 exactly of that provisional pole time of Gatkowski. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so if someone would like to inform me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, that would be that'd be greatly appreciated, because I imagine my Polish isn't too great, so there's probably something wrong there anyways, but do appreciate if you could let me know. Almost halfway through qualifying already. It's been an action-packed one. We are actually well halfway through. 6 minutes and 57 seconds to go. Limitless going on a lap now. Then let's just ride on board while I do try to find and upload the thumbnail. Gatkowski, appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much for letting me know, as now I actually know how to say it. Limitless, that's a big time in the middle sector than 44.3. He's looking good for an improvement here as he's heading up through sector number 3. There goes Gatkowski to the top, 103.258. I say to the top, he's at the top anyways. He's got a marginal improvement though. Here comes Limitless around the final corner with the Red Bull Mobile curve. That's going to go to 5th. Did say before the race, his quali pace he wasn't too fond of it. He is looking much better in the race trim, according to himself, as Selly, championship leader, making a mistake on home turf here, but still 5 minutes and 45 seconds to rectify that mistake. Marius with a bit of an invalidation as well. Still no lap time in from the Greek driver of Zerkatos. He's looking to get a time put in. His fellow Greek driver Lezad is also looking to get a better time put in. Currently the only man outside a second of pole. He's going to invalidate his run then here as well. That's not a good time, or apologies, that's not a good mistake from the Alfa Romeo Sauber. Or the Alfa Romeo Kick Team now, as they like to call themselves. He did find 7/10 of a second in that lap though, so it's not all negative. There is some positives. A positive would be in terms of his pace. Let's have a look at Selly then, heading through sector number 1. I think he's backed off actually. Yeah, he has backed off. He was powering it up towards Remus, but he did back off. What about Cucumber? He's now currently sitting 4th. I think he's going on a push lap here. Let's ride on board with the Alpine instead. Sorry folks, it took me about 16 minutes to find the thumbnail, but I have it on the stream now, so I'm not going to lose my job on my first day. Let's keep an eye on Cucumber then, heading through sector number 2. That's a good lap once again from, was that Mango improved? It was. Mango goes to 5th, Cucumber purple in the 2nd sector. Not sure if that's legitimate or not, of course we always used to have that glitch, but that's a good time still from Cucumber. Then let's see, can he round off the lap through turn number 9? Nice through there, 5th gear through 10. Kind of want to maximise the traction. Very quick through turn number 10 for Cucumber. That's going to go second on the grid. That's an excellent lap from Cucumber. He really found a lot of time in that final sector. Purple in the final sector, and I'd well believe it. That turn 10 apex speed was absolutely magnificent from the NSX driver. Driving in the Alpine, of course, for this evening. Is he in at full time? I'm trying to check my notes. He is in at full time. Of course, the Canadian representative. He's joined alongside Montana for the season. Montana not here this evening, as you can obviously see. He's not on the timing tower. Mango heading into the pit lane then, as we're all just getting ready to go for the final part of qualifying. Rudy is going to go out a little bit early, so can he get a lap in. Lazard actually retiring from qualifying, so that's an interesting one, because we saw he had a bit of time in his lap, didn't we? We saw there was about 7/10 of a second in that lap for Lazard. Rudy letting Jamie through. Jamie on an out lap, so Jamie out a bit early as well. Cucumbers only just made it back to the pit lane, so almost 2 different little patterns of qualifying here. While we have a little bit of a breather in the action, we can run you through the championship standings. It is, of course, Selly who leads the drivers' standings by a good chunk of a margin. It's 50 points for Selly, and then behind him it is, of course, the British driver of Limitless on 28 points. Gatkowski on 28 as well, tied with Limitless, and then it's the Canadian of Cucumber on 27. Carl on 15 in 5th, and then it's Montana in 14. Apologies, in 6th with 14. Then as we go to 7th, it's Spanias with 12, and then in 8th it is Volcano. Volcano currently performing well, 3rd in qualifying, but no points scored in qualifying, of course. And then for running through the rest of the order, it's TJ Boss in 9th and Marios in 10th position, with Jihan in 11th. Only 13 point scorer so far this season. Tails in 13th being the bottom runner. Here comes Jamie then to start the final lap in qualifying for this evening's Austrian Grand Prix. The McLaren man heading up towards turn number 3. Turn number 3 of Remus, of course. It's a heavy braking zone. He's marginally improving in the first sector. Use all the curb on that outside to rotate the car. Short shift up to 3rd gear. Pin the throttle as quickly as you can. I know I say throttle funky. It's the Irish accent. Then Slosh Gold of turn number 5. That's really quick through there for Jamie. Hopefully he's not messed up the exit because of his very quick apex speed. That's through Roche and in towards the Worth curve. Jamie not found much more time through sector number 2. He's about 200ths up through 1, about 0.024 through sector 2. In towards turn 9. and in towards turn number 10. We saw a very quick through 10 from Cucumber. That's equally as quick from Jamie. Very nice. Final sector. Where's the McLaren going to go? It's going to be provisional pole position here in Austria. He really did find a lot of time through that final sector, and the McLaren man is on provisional pole, but he was the first one to set a lap. We're still waiting to see times from Gatkowski. We're still waiting to see times from Cucumber, Volcano, Carl, Mango. Even Limitless has another bite of the cherry here. He's improving by just under half a tenth of a second heading through Roche and in towards the worst curve. Nice through there for Limitless. He's not finding that much of time. Half a tenth of a second in the lap for him. Wonder can he find more in the final sector. We saw the final sector be where Jamie found all his time. There's an improvement there for Marios, who goes to 6th position. This could be a Ferrari. Here comes Limitless through the final corner, looking to break that 103.252 mark. There goes Limitless across the line. It's only going to be 6th position in qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Slightly disappointing for a man with standards like Limitless. Gatkowski attempting a Valtteri Bottas here in his last lap, but he's not on pole. That's the difference for this Mercedes-man. He's not going to take it either because he's off the circuit just as we cross the checker. Mistake from Volcano. What can Carl do on his time? Next across the line is going to be the Scuderia Ferrari of Dracotis. That was Selly who's gone to 3rd. We didn't even look at the AlphaTauri, but the championship leader has gone within 100 of a second of the poleman. Next across the line going to be Mango in, no apologies, wasn't Mango, it was Gian in the Williams. Volcano, we saw he invalidated his lap. Next across the line, it is going to be the Alpine of Cucumber. Can he steal pole? Or the next front runner, I should say, across the line. Can he steal pole here at the death? There goes Gatkowski into the pit lane and retiring. And we've seen the two Ferraris put their attempts in. Marios into the pit lane. Can Cucumber find it right at the death here at the Red Bull Ring? This would be magical from the Canadian if he could do it. Can he go on pole position? He absolutely can. It's a 103.214. Excellent lap from the Alpine here in the final stages of qualifying. That is a magnificent lap. It's not going to be beaten. Last man across the, or second last man across the line, I should say. He'll be the quickest of the day, and Cucumber is on pole for the Austrian Grand Prix. He got the best of the track conditions, but he delivered when it mattered. We didn't think he'd find time in that final sector, but he absolutely did, and an excellent job that is from Cucumber as he takes pole position for this Austrian Grand Prix. Full quality results in a moment. Here they are, then, your full qualifying results for the Austrian Grand Prix. It is NSX Cucumber on pole position with CPI Jamie in second. The only real two who didn't make mistakes in their final lap. They take front row of the grid, Alpine and McLaren. Gatkowski in 3rd, followed by Selly in 4th, Volcano in 5th. Carl will line up in 6th ahead of Limitless in 7th, Marios in 8th, Gian in 9th, followed by Mango in 10th. It will then be Spine, Rudy, Stelios, Lazad and Drakatos. Our Greek representatives will be hoping for a better race as they line up 13th, 14th and 15th. We're going to load in to the Grand Prix now. Let us know down below if you're watching who you think is going to win this Austrian Grand Prix. It should certainly be an exciting one. We have a good calibre of driver on the grid now, and hopefully they can provide us with some good racing action. Some fun facts about the Austrian Grand Prix before we start. The A1 ring here hosted 7 F1 races between 1997 and 2003. It then took a brief hiatus and came back in 2014, redeveloped as the Red Bull Ring. It was only saw one Austrian driver win here at the Red Bull Ring, or Zeltwig. Niki Lauda, of course, he won here in 1984 en route to win his 3rd World Championship, his first with McLaren. Verstappen and Prost equalled on 3 Austrian Grand Prix wins. Not anymore. Verstappen won the 2023 Austrian Grand Prix and broke that record. He technically has 5 wins around the Red Bull Ring, winning the 2021 Styrian Grand Prix, but obviously not the Austrian Grand Prix, so it does not matter. The circuit 600 metres above sea level, with 60% of the Styrian region covered by forest. You can see some in the background just behind the pit building. It's a 4.318 kilometre circuit with 10 turns, designed of course by Herman Tilke, one of his first projects as a Formula 1 track designer. It's an average gear change of 32 a lap, which is actually quite low for an F1 circuit. For example, Singapore has up in the 70s, up almost in the 80s. 16.1 second pit lane loss average in Formula 1. That'll be slightly different here because, of course, this is a video game. Current lap record here as well is actually it's actually held by Carlos Sainz. You wouldn't think it, but it is held by Carlos Sainz. That was in the McLaren in 2020. Of course, Lando Norris took a podium in 2020, and that was the first race back after COVID where he did take a podium. That was the scenario 7. You'll remember those jokes if you were an F1 fan back in 2020. And we should be getting ready to go racing soon. Hopefully, I'm running out of fun facts. So hopefully we do get ready to go racing soon. Tyre strategy round here. Well, it doesn't matter because we're getting ready to go on the grid for this Austrian Grand Prix. We'll have a look at the tyres soon as we go racing here in Austria. That's a great launch from Jamie up towards turn number 1. The McLaren looking to take the race lead in towards the Niki Lauda curve for the first time. Down the inside goes Jamie, held round the outside by Cucumber. Jamie actually just getting a little bit of a tap on the front wing, almost rotating his McLaren round. Free wide for second place up here towards turn number 3 for the first time. Here comes Gatkowski in towards second position. Carl diving in there forward. In the background, that it is Mango, Marius, Rudy and Spine. There's a couple of cars off the circuit as they head over the crest of the hill with a yellow flag in sector number 2. That's at turn 3. We've 3 cars off. That's Marius, Mango and Rudy, who we said first initially, but heading down through the Schlossgold of turn number 3. Very quick start from Cucumber. Gatkowski managed to overtake Jamie in towards turn number 3. The Mercedesman now up to second. It was a great start off the front row for Jamie, but unfortunately he did not get the best run through turn number 1, and he has fallen down to third position. Your biggest gainer in the opening lap. We said it might be a disappointing quality for our Greek representees. It's absolutely not in the races. Drakatos and Lazard up 6 and 4 positions respectively. The 2 Alfa Romeos swapping spots as well. Lazard now up to 10th, Stelios down to 11th position. That's the first lap done here then in Austria. Let's have a look at the tyres, shall we? It's going to be mediums for Cucumber. He's gone for a different strategy. It's hards then for the Gatkowski, for Jamie and Selly, all on the hard tyres. Carl's gone for the mediums with Volcano, and Gian gone for the hards. Limitless then opting for the mediums with Drakatos, Lazard, Stelios, Spine and Marius all going for the hard tyres, and Mango and Rudy going for the mediums. That's your tyre choices at this point in the Grand Prix and for the first stint. But let's have a look at this. Here comes Gian attacking Volcano in towards turn number 5 of the Schlossgold. Volcano trying to hang it around the outside, but Gian going to keep his car in here. This will now become the outside for the next corner, and that's going to go to the Aston Martin at this point in the Grand Prix. Gian not going to make that work on a similar tyre. You kind of need a bit of a tyre advantage at this stage in the race if you want to make a move like that work. We're not having any tyre degradations so far in this Grand Prix. The medium will start to kick in, and the tyre degradation I should say should start to kick in about lap 10-ish is when we will see the medium start to fall off. But the sole goal for the hard tyres here is to go as long as possible in the race. Hopefully no safety car for those guys' sake, and then go for the mediums because you want fresh tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix. But up the hill once again, you can see the MotoGP chicane on the side there now. An update by Codemasters heading into this game cycle. As we drop further to the back, it looks like Spine might launch an attack on Stelios for Alfa Romeo. It's an all Greek lineup in Alfa Romeo, but Spine is looking to attack. Spine, of course, being one of 2 Swiss drivers on the grid. Is he going to have a launch in towards the Schlossgold? No, just going to keep it cautious and just going to stay back for the time being. No need for anything that could risk your front wing. The 3 who were involved in the incident on lap number 1 all running smoothly, did not have to make a pit stop. As a mistake for Drakatos. He has had a bit of a moment there, I think. Unfortunate for him, hopefully. Everything seems okay on his car. I think it could have just been a driver error potentially, heading for the word curve, but might be struggling with the setup a tad. That was a bit of a was a bit of a slide through turn number 9, which is not really what you want on such fresh tyres here at this Austrian Grand Prix circuit. This 36 laps of racing, you're going to want your tyres to last a bit more than 4, but Lazat has spun round, heading through turn number 1. The Niki Lauda curve has taken its first victim, and it's going to be Lazat who goes round for Alfa Romeo. He's going to fall to 15th spot now. Those tyres will be feeling a little bit toasty on the rear of that car, as Gavkovsky looking for the race lead. Disappointing that for Lazat. He spins to the back and will have to recover. He's only 7/10 adrift off Rudy, so those two can work together potentially, maybe slipstream each other and have a bit of DRS towards the middle part of this race. But 0.4 of a second separating Cucumber and Gavkovsky, which is very close for this stage in the Grand Prix. But Austria's like this. We'll probably see gaps like this for the whole duration of this race. We already have a penalty to report, and as for Gian, he's picked up what I believe is a 3-second time penalty, and absolutely is. That's already for track limits. So he's going to struggle when that towards the end of the race. You could see him accumulating somewhere in the vicinity of 9 seconds towards the end of this Grand Prix, potentially, as he already has Limitless attacking him, riding on board with the Red Bull Racing Man of Limitless, late braking down the inside, doesn't lock a rear or a front. Limitless gonna give him a little bit of space on the exit, and the Red Bull Man going to look to get the slipstream, or not the slipstream, apologies, just gonna outdrag him towards turn number 5. Limitless still on the inside. Gian is gonna try and tuck behind. He's not gonna be able to defend. That's gonna be 7th position for Limitless, and an excellent overtake, and that he teed that one up nicely in towards turn number 3, and it worked out well for him in towards turn number 4, apologies, not turn number 5, as they don't actually classify that little straight as a turn. They do the one up the hill towards turn number 3, where the MotoGP chicane is that little sweep, classified as turn number 2 on the official track map. We're already starting lap number 6. This race is absolutely flying by. They're all still nip and tuck. Limitless in the background, you can see, looking to attack Volcano as well in towards turn number 1. You're not going to go for moving to turn number 1 though. You're going to wait and capitalise in towards turn number 3. Limitless could do it cutting through this pack a little bit as well. As you can see, he's on the medium tyre, so he's got to try and make this one work, but he's going to have to also watch, because Volcano is trying to make it work around the outside of Carl through Remus. Limitless with a good camera angle here, if anything, but he's also getting some beneficial tow to help him in this battle. Here comes Carl then on the inside, Volcano on the outside in the Aston Martin, and Carl has actually gone for the double whammy. He's gone for our championship leader, Selly, in towards turn number 4. That's not going to work out, and now Volcano going to try attack the Haasman pack, the Haas on the better tyres, but the Volcano with the more commitment potentially. Here comes Volcano, trying it around the outside, heading through the Worth curve. Oh, he's pulled that one off beautifully. What an excellent overtake by Volcano. The Aston Martin excelling in that sector of the track, it seems, and he's overtaken Carl now. That'll be Mango, who picks up a penalty. Mango down to 13th, of course. We now have 4 penalties on the timing tower. One for our bottom 3, one for Gian in 8th position. Heading up the hill then once again. Let's let battle commence for a 7th time. Limitless on the inside of Carl. Is Limitless going to go for 2 in the 1? Limitless and Carl both on equal tyres. Who's got the better exit? I think it could be Limitless as well. So that's a great overtake for Limitless heading up the hill. And it's actually a battle for our race lead. It's got to be Gavkovsky who overtakes Cucumber. Is the medium tyre already starting to fall off, you'll be asking yourself, because that's Gavkovsky to the race lead. The Polish racer, remember the CPI esports team, now leading this Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Cucumber and Jamie. And Jamie looking all over the back of that Alpine in 2nd spot as well, which would make you think maybe this hard tyre is starting to fall off, or medium tyre, apologies, is starting to fall off just a tad, because we saw Carl lose 2 spots in the same amount of laps. Heading up towards the right-hander of turn number 1. The top 4 all separated by the car, top 5 all separated by the car in front by 0.2 of a second. Obscene here. Here comes Jamie and Cucumber, both attacking Gatkowski, is he gonna be done by both these though? But they're almost free wide on the exit. Who's got the better one? Think it could be Gatkowski heading down towards turn number 4. Cucumber side by side here with the Mercedes. Cucumber has to try and get back to the other side of the circuit. Brakes late, no switch back on here. Great manoeuvre by NSX Cucumber to lead this Grand Prix once again. Limitless also getting past Volcano. I say getting past, he's attempting to get past. Here comes the Red Bull around the outside. Can he try and get the job done? As here comes Limitless trying it round the outside for the word curve. That's an excellent move by the Red Bull man, once again excelling in that part of the circuit, and that's Limitless up to 5th spot. As fans will love that one, heading in towards Rindt corner. But Jamie looking to attack Gatkowski. It seems like it's just a powerful slipstream and not necessarily tyre degradation that's affecting these drivers. Heading up towards turn number 3, movement in the back, that's Gian on Volcano. Here comes the Williams round the outside. It seems to be the inside line that's the preferred one from these drivers so far, but Gian is going to try out-traction him. There is extra grip on that raised bump part of the circuit. That seems to be a good move from Gian. Here comes Gatkowski once again looking for the race lead, not hanging about here in this Grand Prix, and the Mercedes is now up to first position once again here in Austria. Good move from Gatkowski. As Cucumber just keeping with him. He knows they'll probably swap again before the pit phase. Pit phase around lap 15 to 19-ish, if I had to give it a guess, but you can never really tell. We might get a safety car at any point in this Grand Prix, and that would see these drivers dive in pretty much. But running through Rindt corner, or not Rindt corner, apologies, the Red Bull Mobile curve, we can see Selly. They're going to get involved once again. The Austrian looking to win here at his home Grand Prix potentially. Pace not as good maybe as previous weeks. He's taken both wins, of course, so far in the championship. Hasn't taken a single fastest lap though. Here comes Gatkowski in towards turn number 1. He's lost a spot. Cucumber has got it back, and that's quite different to what we saw. We saw the attack come into turn 4 in the last few laps. Here comes Gatkowski. Is he going to go for it once again? No, lifts off. In the background though, Limitless up the inside of Selly, the two title rivals. So far here in the early part of the season, Limitless just trying to out-track him on the exit of turn number 4, and he's absolutely going to succeed with that prospect on the medium tyres. Good overtake from Limitless to get the job done, and he's quite excelling on this medium tyre 4 now, but he does have to run the hard towards the end of the race, so he has the benefits now, but the rest of them will all have the benefits in the latter stages of this Grand Prix. If you enjoy the action so far, make sure to pop a subscription on Flashpoint. We have Tier 2 action on a Tuesday, Tier 1 action on a Wednesday, of course, and this is the Tier 1 Round 3 race. My name is Evan Dalton. I hope you're enjoying the action so far. If you're just joining us, as Jamie on over the back of Gatkowski, potentially. Two pitters actually, that's Mango and Lazat. Both into the pit lane. They're both on similar parts of the circuit. Well, there's your answer. There's Lazat out of the race. There's Gatkowski overtaking Cucumber in towards turn number 4. Once again, who would have predicted it? Absolute shocker. But the slipstream of the DRS really beneficial for these two. It's almost like they are working together. But we do have one official retirement from this Grand Prix. Lazat has retired from the race. The Alfa Romeo kick car is out of the Grand Prix, unfortunately. That's going to be 15th and last for him. Jamie almost sitting and waiting for something to happen maybe in this Grand Prix. The McLaren man just sitting pretty, potentially. Heading up the hill then. Here they go again. Cucumber inside and Gatkowski trying to make the move work. Gatkowski not able to get it done. And look, now he's going to be attacked by Jamie. This is the opportunity Jamie's waiting for. Volcano has had an issue in the background. He's losing a couple of spots now behind Carl. Jamie not able to go for it. Limitless, opportunistic as ever up the inside. And the Red Bull man trying to make the move work. Heading through turn number 5 and 6. Not going to get it done. Gian and Selly. Selly losing spots fast here. His home Grand Prix doesn't quite seem to be the best of endeavours so far for the AlphaTauri driver, and Gian in 5th spot now, but he does have that time penalty that will hurt him at the end of the race. He's not picked up any more though, which is a very good sign. Lap 12 of 36, lap 13 of 36. The halfway point, of course, coming at a much later stage in this race, but the laps do tick down quickly, and this race certainly isn't settling down quickly. We're going to have action like this until the end of the Grand Prix, I would presume. Here is Jamie in the slipstream, trying to get the slipstream from the faster Alpine in front by the looks of things. There's Mango, sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. He's on fresh, hard tyres. He's probably going to need a safety car to bring him back into play. There is a schism in the field, that's for 9th, between Marius. And just as we say that, Marius now not the leader of this schism. It's Spine who has created the void in the running order. For the Red Bull Mobile curve now, we start at 14 of 36 here in the Austrian Grand Prix. If you're enjoying the action, make sure to pop a subscription on the channel. Make sure to give the video a like as we fall on it now. We do appreciate your support as always. Rudy, 3-second time penalty. Here comes Gatkowski looking for the race lead once again, as thought he was hit there, but it seemed like he just locked to the rears. His hard tyres won't like that, but the hard tyres will be starting to get quicker than the medium. As you can see, Gatkowski got to take advantage of that DRS pass in the end. Didn't have to work into the braking zone, but you can see Jamie looking to capitalise on the wearing tyres of Cucumber as well. Limitless going to start to feel a little pinch maybe on those tyres. He'll start to feel them degrading a little bit. They look okay though. They do look okay, but that could well be the fact this is a video game, and they probably won't change how they look depending on the degradation. Sometimes they do, to be fair. Sometimes, as you can see, little marks there on Limitless. As you can see, they are wearing quite heavily compared to the... No, they're all the exact same. Forget my waffling, they're all the exact same. There's no real difference in tyre management. Up through 1. Cucumber surely going to look to take the race lead again. Here he goes, up the inside, safety car, no, not safety car, apologies, yellow flag, no risk of a safety car, because he's retired in the pit lane is what I wanted to say. There goes Cucumber, up the inside on Gatkowski. This just seems to be this classic battle once again, but is Jamie going to get himself involved, and is he going to be the king to swap this one? Gatkowski, block pass on the gets block passed on the inside by Cucumber, the Alpine. Now in the lead of the race once again here on lap 15 out of 36. We're almost at the halfway point in this Grand Prix, lap 18 being the halfway point, I believe. And that's when we will see a lot of these guys coming into the pit lane. We could even see some of the medium tyre runners come into the pit lane this lap, because you can get to the end from here on a set of hards, but they're not going to come quite in. You got to stay in that white line if you're going to pit. So you got to go to the right hand side of the penultimate corner and stay within those pit white lines. That's what the regulations state before the Grand Prix. That is what the Mr. League owner himself, Gatkowski, has requested. Up the hill then once again. Is the Mercedes going to go for it, or is he just going to sit behind? He's going to just sit behind for now, as we see in the background. Big dive from Limitless on Jamie. The Red Bullman's not hanging about here at the Red Bull ring. Yellow flag in sector 1. Think that could be for Spine. Here comes Limitless, tucked into the slipstream. Jamie got to defend from the cars behind. They're all attacking each other. Limitless, it's now or never for the medium tyre runners. Limitless gets to 2 in the same amount of corners. The Red Bullman is up to second position here. It's a medium tyre 1-2. here at the Austrian Grand Prix, that would indicate to me that Limitless is planning a pit stop. Jamie crumbling in this Grand Prix. Gian has got past now as well. The FVR Campeonato member, I should say, is moving up in life here at the Austrian Grand Prix. No pit stop this time for Limitless. That's given a bit of a buffer to Cucumber as Limitless heads through the Red Bull Mobile curve. He's created a bit of a gap to himself and Gatkowski. Carl comes into the pit lane on the medium tyres. That's for a Haas Formula 1 team. He's looking to go for an undercut here at the Austrian Grand Prix. The undercut is quite powerful, but the thing here is fresher tyres mean so much on this F123 game. Heading in towards turn number 3, this is probably the first time where Cucumber's had a bit of breathing space, because Limitless is not as close as Gatkowski was for, dare I say, the entire race. But Limitless, of course, made 2 passes on lap number 16. An excellent job from JD. The top 7 in this race, if we go gap to the leader, the top 7 separated by 2.3 seconds. That's not something you see every day in league racing, is it? Okay, Cucumber has committed to the pits. Hopefully everything's kept clean. Limitless carries on. Cucumber may have crossed the white line there. There could be a steward's report put in. If he did, we didn't have the best angle at it, unfortunately. But we will wait and see. Limitless carries on and does get a lap lead under his belt. That's for the statistical books if he's into that sort of thing. Heading up the hill to turn number 3. Just looking at the back of the Bybit Red Bull sponsored rear wing, you can see the interesting line taken. You got a straight line the exit there pretty much. Is Gian going to look to attack Gatkowski? Quite interestingly as well, actually, the top 7, none of them going to have to worry about a double stack. The top 10 different teams, I believe. Yeah, it is. It's 10 different teams. So we've got 10 different team representations running in the points of this stage in the Grand Prix. Of course, we only have two bunches of teammates here this evening for the entire race, or 3 actually, and two are out of the Grand Prix pretty much. But there goes Limitless into the pit lane. There goes Limitless. Puts his hard compound tyres on, and where does he come out in relation to Cucumber? Cucumber was ahead, of course, in towards turn number 1. Cucumber ahead of Carl. Carl went for the undercut in the early stages of this Grand Prix, and he's come out well ahead of Limitless, and he's right on the tail of Cucumber as well. He's got those hard tyres up to temperature, and he is running very well on those hard tyres. Gap up the front, 0.2 of a second between Gatkowski and Gian. These guys are going to be thinking about a pit stop soon, I imagine. Limitless extended his medium tyre stint quite long, actually, compared to the status quo around the Austrian circuit. Oh, Jamie. Actually, I was going to say it was a rear lock. I think that could have been Selly's front wing that almost rotated the McLaren through turn number 1. Let's see, can Gian attack them in towards turn number 3? Jamie just not able to get the exit out of that corner. He struggled with it all evening, actually. It seems to be a little problem for him. Oh, that's an interesting one. Volcano overtaking Limitless. So that's Volcano back past. Volcano obviously on the quicker medium compound of tyre. Oh, gap of the front. Got under a 10th, but no real overtaking opportunities for Gian. As let's see then, do these guys pull into the pit lane? It's going to be a 16-lap stint on medium tyres. Gian isn't, Gatkowski is, and this is where Gian has to be careful because he's got to be held up with Gatkowski on the slower inside line heading into the pit lane. Right then, race on in the pit lane between the Mercedes crew and between the push lap of Cucumber. I imagine Cucumber's going to get ahead here because he is on the hard tyres, but of course Gatkowski is going for the medium tyre, meaning he'll be quicker in the later stages of the race. He'll be quicker in this stage of the race as well. Volcano now the quickest man on the circuit with 1:05.1. Fastest lap in race pace, that's quite impressive. Here is Gatkowski, here he is on pit exit, pushing it to the absolute maximum. You don't want to clip that outside wall, and you can see that's what the undercut does. 3.4 seconds. Gatkowski is off Limitless, but he's going to have the quicker tyres, and he's going to be pushing towards the end of the race. Jamie struggling, maybe with the tyre wear. You can see some rear sliding through turn number 7, the Worth curve. That is Gian coming into the pit lane. Sally and Jamie going to carry on, and the more laps these stay out, the further behind the pack they will be, but the fresher tyres they will have. It's a balancing act, pretty much, here in Flashpoint Tier 1, especially around this Austrian Grand Prix circuit. There goes Marius into the pit lane, almost bombing it into the wall, but into the pit lane nonetheless. Yeah, whatever way you get in, I suppose. There's Cucumber in the provisional lead of this Grand Prix, has Carl close behind. Volcano thundering down Carl's gearbox. He is pushing and trying to get back in this race. He's even pulling away from Limitless behind. Gatkowski not really catching JD in 6th position. Gatkowski got him. Oh no! Oh, hold on a second. Race leader Cucumber has suffered a disconnect. He's left the session, meaning this could see a swap in the race lead. Carl, the man who went for the audacious undercut, is your new provisional leader. Cucumber, heartbreaking for the Alpine. Not his fault whatsoever. And he's disconnected from the session. That is also disappointing from him. He's going to be overtaken by Volcano. Hopefully it's not a major issue from Cucumber. He can still somewhat stay in this race and stay in this championship fight. Cucumber, of course, 4th in the championship. He's only 1 point off 2nd, but a good bit off 1st. The man in 1st. The man in 1st in this race. Sally will be in 1st for much longer. Jamie opts to stay behind, going for the DRS. Are these two potentially working together here in this Grand Prix? Sally, of course, part of NSX Esports. Jamie, part of CPI. Is he going to go for the move? Cucumber's back in the lobby, and he's not too far off Limitless. So hopefully the Alpine can still somewhat stay in contention for the remainder of this Grand Prix. At 23 of 36, well over the halfway point in this way. We're almost in the final stages, would you believe it? Sally and Jamie still yet to make a pit stop, and neither going to do so on this lap. I wonder, are they going to go for the soft tyres towards the end of this race? I imagine that will be the strategy they take. They're going to go for the softs and put in fast laps to try and make up the time deficit. Gatkowski not quite catching Limitless. The hard tyres, still a good option. There is Volcano, past Carl. Carl is going to fall off, unfortunately. There's a swap for the race lead. Jamie overtakes Selly. That's not going to be fought too hard from these two, because they're both just trying to save their tyres. Track position, not really crucial for those at this point in this race. Track position, not the most crucial thing around the Red Bull Ring. You can overtake it, but, I mean, you want to be leading, don't you? But Carl, looking to just keep his hand in the fight here, stays behind Volcano, quite controversially. Could have gone down the inside there. He is on the 2nd worst tyres in the field of those who have pitted. The only worse than him is Mango, who is down in 10th position and 7.3 seconds off Gian, who is in 8th. The front two in. The front two are in. Pit stops for the front two. McLaren versus AlphaTauri. Let's see what sort of pit stop times they get and what tyres they go for. More crucially, that is the more crucial factor here in this Grand Prix. Mediums for Jamie, it seems. There's a caution in Sector 2 and Sector 3. That is going to be for that's for Drakatos, who's gone off in the background. So Drakatos, unfortunately, having a bit of a moment. He's going to fall further off the pack. Jamie and Selly, 7th and 8th. Spine going to look to try and get a spot here or two. Here we go, battle for the race lead. Carl, Limitless, Volcano. Volcano has nudged Carl off the circuit, and this is going to allow Limitless to take the 2 spots. Limitless leads here in Austria. Ducatus retires from the Grand Prix. Red Bull lead at the Red Bull Ring here on lap 25 out of 36. Limitless is looking to seal his first victory of the season as he heads in towards Roche. The Red Bull in a very good spot in this one. He's got better tyres than Carl, and those hard tyres will be better than Volcano's come the end of the Grand Prix. You got to keep an eye on your Gatkovskis, your Gians, your Jamies, your Sellies towards the end of this race, because they're all on much fresher medium compounded tyres than Limitless's hards will be towards the end of this race. But no sign of a safety car. 3 retirements in this Grand Prix. That's Ducatus, Rudy and Lazat, who are out of the race. As it stands now, there's going to be no points for Alfa Romeo and no points for Ferrari in this Grand Prix. Every other team will get at least a point on the board. Every other team will get actually more than a point on the board at this point in this race. It's Carl just trying to defend from Volcano, and that's Gatkovski up the inside of Cucumber. Cucumber well on the back foot now because of that disconnect, and the Alpine falling down the order. Here comes Fior Campagnato. Gian trying it round the outside, and he's got that one done on Cucumber. Excellent move from Gian. Jamie also being overtaken by Selly, the Austrian, the home favourite here at the Red Bull Ring, starting to find some of his pace on this medium tyre. Limitless really giving it a good go up the front. Remember, Volcano has that penalty. That's going to hurt him towards the end of this race, as it will with Gian. Heading in towards turn number 1 now. 0.6 of a second separates Limitless and Carl. Limitless is giving this the almighty push. He's using all of his battery. Carl not using as much. Here comes Gatkovski, probably the man to challenge Limitless. He overtakes Volcano. Gatkovski, 6-lap-old Pirelli mediums, Limitless 8-lap-old Pirelli hards. Carl, unfortunately, is going to start to feel the tyre deficit in the next couple of laps compared to Gatkovski's mediums. You can just see Carl running a tad bit wide of the apex as it is. Let's look at this in the background. Look at this in the background. Gian on Volcano. Oh, what a move from Gian on Volcano. Is he still on the circuit? He is. Just about the Aston Martin. Still just about on the circuit. Gian gets 4th position. Gatkovski gonna look to attack Carl. He needs to do it quickly because Limitless has almost got a 1-second window over Carl. He has got the 1-second window. Volcano picking up another 3-second time penalty. Carl using battery on the straights to make sure that ERS is kept. What Limitless needs to hope for here is that Gatkovski, apologies, and Carl start to trip over each other heading up the hill. Here comes Gatkovski. Heading up towards turn number 3, tries the outside approach on the Haas in through Remus. Is this going to work out? You can see the apex, he's just shoved wide onto the sausage curve. Gatkovski gets the exit, and that's a great overtake from Gatkovski, but has he managed to pull it off? Carl keeping it in a straight line, heading down towards turn number 4. Carl still on the inside line. Look how quickly they've caught Limitless due to the DRS effects. Gatkovski is up to 2nd, Limitless in 1st now with his red light flashing. Sitting duck potentially? I don't think so. I think Limitless is still going to try and fight this one to the very end of the race. Gian, 1/10 of a second now off Carl. He's going to look to try and be the next man to dispatch the slow Haas. Well, I say slow compared to the high pace of these 3, and that is Gian ahead in towards Jochen Rindt corner. And Gian will take 3rd spot here in this Grand Prix. Now, fight well and truly on. We start lap 29 out of 36 here in the Austrian Grand Prix. If you are enjoying the action, apologies folks, I've completely dropped my controller on the floor, but if you are enjoying the action here in this Austrian Grand Prix, make sure to pop a subscription on the channel. There we go, all fixed. Limitless being overtaken immediately by Gatkovski, and Limitless has been shoved off on the exit. Oh, he's got a slow exit because Gian has overtaken him as well. The hard tyre is starting to dilapidate here in this Grand Prix. Here comes Gian. Is he going to the race lead? No, not quite, but he does have Limitless up his inside. Limitless going for both of them again. He's regained 1 spot, not quite able to regain the other in towards Turn number 4. Gap now 0.2 of a second. Is Gatkowski just going to run away into the sunset here? Or does Limitless have one last say? Does he have that little bit of a second wind that he can activate and try to retake the lead of this Grand Prix? Through turn number 1, he led a curve. Limitless in the DRS of Gatkowski, heading up towards turn number 3. The Red Bull is gaining and gaining and gaining in a straight line. Is Limitless going to go for it into the braking zone? He's not. Gatkowski brakes later, braking well after the 100-meter board. Exiting Remus, then Gatkowski just has that tyre advantage. He just has the tyre advantage, but Limitless, straight line speed, DRS and slipstream, not really using the battery. He doesn't have enough to use, and Limitless will sit behind. Bit of a lag spike there, it seemed, between Gian and Limitless, but Limitless still second, Gian in third. Gatkowski in the lead of this race still, as we will have to wait till lap 31 potentially to see Limitless have another go. But for the time being, Gian looking solid to take second on the track anyways. What all these drivers know is he does have that penalty, so even if he finishes second, with the close proximity of this field, it's highly likely he will fall very far down it, and Carl will know that. I think that could be why he's just sat in fourth and let Gian go and attack Limitless. Here we go again then, heading up towards turn number 3 of Remus. Is Limitless going to attack this time round? He's not. Limitless playing it cautious maybe. Can't play it too safe, because now Gian has the run down towards the Schloss Gold. Much better exit for the Williams. Gonna try the inside in towards turn number 4, the Schloss Gold. Now late braking for Gian. Is Limitless gonna be able to hold around the outside here on the worst tyres? He's shoved onto the gravel, Alex Albon style, and Limitless might potentially lose another spot here. Carl not gonna be able to get this one, but that could be Limitless's chance of the race lead gone potentially. Gatkowski just a little bit too far in front. Limitless, as it stands, would still take second here in this Austrian Grand Prix, and he would claw points back on his championship rival Selly. But Gatkowski, of course, tied on points with Limitless, so Limitless would actually end up losing a space in the championship, despite him gaining on the championship leader. Lap 32 of 36 now. If you're enjoying the action, once again, one more time, we'd just like to remind you, you can pop a subscription on the Flashpoint Racing League YouTube channel. Tier 1 races, 7 on a Wednesday, Tier 2, 7 on a Tuesday. Here goes the AlphaTauri up the inside. Volcano not able to make it work, and Selly now looking to attack Carl. Jamie's overtaken his CPI teammate Volcano now, heading in towards the Schloss Goal of turn number 5. And he gets the job done. Gian now, 0.2 of a second off Gatkowski. If he was able to overtake Gatkowski, he would have to pull a 3-second time. 3 seconds on Gatkowski, or hope Gatkowski gets a penalty himself. Actually, I'm always going to check the warnings of Gatkowski, but that can be a little bit risky in this game. Sometimes it can boot you out of the lobby, and that's kind of the last thing we want, really, isn't it? Listen to that Mercedes engine just rev in towards turn number 1 of the Nicky Lauda curve. Gatkowski, slightly better exit. Gian will have all of that fresh air being chucked over the wings and the slipstream of the Williams, heading in towards turn number 3. Gian leads the Austrian Grand Prix. The job for Gatkowski now is just not fall out of 3 seconds of your race, of the race leader, and you'll still win this Grand Prix. But you can't be too careful, you can't be uber cool, because Gian could well get those penalties removed here, and the Italian driving excellent on that medium compounded tyre. Limitless still in the background. He's only 0.3 of a second off the Polish national, so he knows he still has a chance maybe at the race win. This one's going to get very close heading into the dying embers of this Grand Prix. We know how powerful Slipstream can be. We know how powerful the ERS can be, and the DRS. So this one is not over until all 12 cars have crossed the checker. Mango pitting for a fresh set of softs I would take it he's going for a fastest lap attempt, and he's going to try and get something out of this Grand Prix. Limitless, a bit of a rear slide through turn number 1, the Nicky Lauda curve. He's going to just have to be careful here, but look at the background. Selly looking to attack Carl. Is he going to go for a late braking manoeuvre in towards 1? No, going to force Carl to the outside. Selly going to try and hook under and get the job done. No, not quite doable. Not quite doable for Selly. He's still going to attack the Haas and down in towards the Schlossgold of turn number 4. No, not able to get it done. Oh, Jean into the gravel and off the circuit, heading through Ronch. It was a mistake we didn't even notice until it happened. Jean makes a blunder. The Italian, stopped on the circuit, will not be able to win this race despite his penalty. It was looking like slim pickings for the Williams. He's gone off, and that's drama here at the Red Bull Ring. Jean down and out of this Grand Prix. He's left the lobby. There'll be no comeback from him. It's a fight between the two tied on points for second. Gatkowski versus Limitless for the race win here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Gatkowski no longer has the advantage of the slipstream and DRS of the Williams, meaning Limitless has every chance of winning this Grand Prix. He's been saving his battery and tyres and just trying to utilise his race pace to the best he can. He'll have the slipstream and DRS on the final lap of this Grand Prix. It's one thing to catch a car in Formula 1, it's another to make an overtake. That is well and truly awful for Gian. The Italian drove so well to get to the race lead, but unfortunately it just wasn't to be for Gian. He's gone off the circuit, made the mistake through turn number 6 of Roche, and that's him done, unfortunately. Let's see then, final lap of the Austrian Grand Prix. It is the Mercedes of Gatkowski versus the Red Bull of Limitless. Starting the final lap, is Limitless able to tee up a move? He's probably got the better tyres at this point. Those mediums will definitely have started to degrade. You can see Marios picking up a 3-second time penalty. Here comes Limitless then, into the slipstream, heading up the hill towards turn number 3 of Remus. Is it going to be the outside or the inside for the Red Bull? He's going to sit behind. He wants to run down towards turn number 4, the Schlossgold. That's a better exit for Gatkowski. He starts the weaving. You can see the red light flashing. Not a lot of battery on top of that Mercedes. Here comes Limitless to the inside and towards turn number 4. Late braking for the Briton. Has he got it stopped? Here on the inside, he has got it stopped. Gatkowski looking to attack back. The Mercedes on the outside heading through turn number 6, where we saw the Williams lose it all. The Mercedes trying to force it around the outside. It's not going to work through there. He's got maybe one last chance in towards turn number 9 of Rindt, but Limitless is looking good for the win here. Heading in towards turn number 9. Gatkowski gets the run. Is it going to be a late lunge from him? Maybe into the final corner. It's nip and tuck, a tenth and a half between the two. Gatkowski's not got the exit. It's the first win of the season for Limitless, who wins the Austrian Grand Prix ahead of Gatkowski. Red Bull have a man on top here at the Red Bull Ring. An excellent win for Limitless as he takes it by the narrowest of margins after 36 laps of racing. That was a cracker on the final lap. Limitless played his cards beautifully. Just waited for the perfect corner to get it done through turn number 4. Got it done on the inside. Gatkowski forced him to the outside, but Limitless sort of went for the Mansell dummy and went on the inside, and he takes the victory here in Flashpoint tier number 1. An excellent drive from him. It was a fairly lackluster qualifying, but 6 positions gained sees Limitless stand tall here at the Red Bull Ring, a track where they oh so love, and he's going to love it too. I've said in qualifying, he said before the race, his quali pace wasn't great. His race pace certainly much better. Here's your podium then. It is Limitless on top. It is 2 Red Bull powered cars here in the Red Bull Ring. Great result for our championship leader though. Selly picking up 15 points for third. Here's your full race results then here for the Austrian Grand Prix, ladies and gentlemen. Limitless wins from 7th on the grid with a race time of 40 minutes 43 seconds. Gatkowski taking second. Oh, he's going to be bitterly disappointed with that one. But still a great drive, nevertheless, for Gatkowski to pick up the 18 points. It's in Selly, Carl, Jamie, Cucumber, Volcano, Spine, Marios, Stelios, Mango, Gian, and then your non-finishers here were Ducatos, Rudy, and Lazard. That's going to change the championship a little bit, but still a great performance by Selly. He'll still keep the lead of the championship here. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you've enjoyed Flashpoint racing here this evening. A fantastic race here in Austria. I'm going to leave you to enjoy your evening. My name has been Evan Dalton. I do hope you enjoyed, well, all except Walcott, because I did see your comment. Do not worry. I hope you enjoyed this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, what a cracking race. 0.09 separates the top two at the checkered flag. We'll be closer next week. You're going to have to tune in to find out. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you next time.